So it's Thursday. And we were just talking, a lot of students are at the STEM Fest. Now, note if you are at STEM Fest and watching this, you only get an excused absence if you go to the security booth and take a picture with Clara, who is one of our alumni, and send it to me. So that's the only way you can get an excused absence today, is to do that. So, not that I differentiate between excused and unexcused absences, really, but hey, it's something. Those of you who are steadfast and watching later, that's fine. Online students. Okay, let's get into what we're doing today. I think I just opened up the assignment for this week um, and brought that in here. So you should be able to see assignment 3. These are some questions on this system architecture stuff and then on the room database. Looking through these, these are somewhat old. I used these last 2 years ago, but this architecture that we're using and this room database is has stayed relatively constant, which is interesting for the last few years. So most of this this video seems to stay up to date and everything like that, and we're still using the same techniques for accessing this database. So I'm just reusing these questions, and I like these videos that we used before here. So even though they are a couple years old, they still seem to be good. So just go through, watch the videos, and answer the questions for them here. The last part is using an AI to help with this. What we used to do a heart rate example in this class, and I almost brought that in or as an assignment, but I just thought that was too much for this week, given that we're doing this pizza now in Java and Kotlin. I will have you try to just quickly with AI, try to generate some of these files. And so again, the question you're going to just be asking is, you're going to store a person's data on a person's heart rate, including their pulse, their age, and their maximum heart rate. We're going to write up database code for this, and we want to be able to insert and delete heart rates from our database. You can have it generate in either Java or Kotlin. In the last time we used this, we just were doing Java here. Yeah, so that's the assignment. Let's do Sunday night here. We're gonna kind of revisit this database, pizza order database. We started doing this in Java on Tuesday. We're gonna look a little bit more at the Java stuff and then try the Kotlin version today for this. Now, on these assignments, I just want you to be able to turn it in either Java or Kotlin. You don't have to do them both here. So you can just pick one of these and get them pushed and set up for this stuff. So that's, yeah, what we'll be looking at. So let's look, last class, we started going through this. We started with this pizza order app and started to put it in here. So we had, let's see if I can move some stuff around here. We had a screen layout and we had for ordering pizza, and then we had the main activity that accessed that. We had a view model, which again is a long-term or more permanent. It doesn't go away like a main activity stuff, storage for data. So we had this view model here, and we had a pizza list or pizza. It wasn't called pizza repository, but that's basically what it was. And it just stored an array list of pizza objects, and we had our pizza object here for this. Now, that was just storing it temporarily in memory, so we wanted to store it in a database. And so we started using this SQL database. This is so you might be asking, so where is this database, Tom? Where is it actually stored? It is actually stored on your phone. Your Android runs its own little version of MySQL. I believe that's the database it runs. Limited there and can do simple SQL databases on your phone. So it's not stored on the cloud or anything like that here. We will look at cloud solutions, I think next week, when we start getting into Firebase. And we'll also switch to non-SQL things as another thing to look at. But we want to store this in a database. So if you remember, I remember where my pictures were. Yeah. So we went from this to this. So we added the database, and that is done by creating a database class here for, and it's we're doing an object relational manager here to map the SQL objects or SQL queries into Java objects here, object relational model. But Android is calling that room rather than ORM for it. So we have to create a database and set it up for this. And again, this is kind of boilerplate code for this. And it has some nice features that we don't get into, like it has versioning here, which is nice. One of the challenges often when you grow your database, keep adding, is you might be tweaking tables or adjusting things and your SQL stuff. And that gets kind of actually quite complicated to do when you roll out a new feature and you added an attribute to one of your tables. You have to go through and update all the tables in SQL when you're updating your app and only for that. And this actually takes care of all that underneath the hood just with this versioning number. If you change this number, it will update your database to match that and check, which software, which version you're using and running it against the right database on SQL and stuff. So again, we just create this database object. And that, the interface to that is with this DAO, this DAO object, data access object. So we create that. That is actually an interface and not a class. And then the underlying room library creates a class from this here. In fact, in our database, you'll see it doing that. We create or declare an abstract DAO object from that using that interface. And this is where the only place we really start seeing SQL here. So there are some SQL where we don't have to write anything here. Some of it where we write simple queries like delete all from pizza table here, or select star from pizza table to select all the records. So we can write simple queries and then have simple commands like delete all, get all pizzas, and then this will return a list of pizza objects. So again, this is really our object relational mapping here. Again, where we're under this, it converts this SQL query that goes out and gets a table of pizza objects and returns it as a list of pizza objects here. So, and again, we have our pizza object here. So we have that. And then you could access that right from the view model, but we typically stick a repository in here. And that's nice because then we can swap out the database stuff later on without changing the view model here. So we have a pizza repository for this. And this one has a list of pizza objects and maintains that. And things provides a order pizza method and get order method, and some other methods just that might be useful for this. So that is what we added to that. Now, how did we do as far as errors? Did you get this compiling or not? What kind of errors were we? I'm trying to remember where we're at. I was getting errors in the pizza database thing. Because again, the example that we were taking from was a Word database, and so I was still referencing the Word database, room database in here, not the pizza database. So I updated that. And then I wasn't getting any problems, and then but when I tried to run this on my phone just now, so it was compiling fine, but when I tried to run it on my phone, I was getting an issue. And I think it might be related to these versions of this database, because I've run this on different things, different versions on my phone. So I'm actually going to go into my database and change my version to version 2 here, and then see what that does. Nope, we're still getting this private int for the pizza. Cannot find the getter for the property. Let's talk a little bit while I'm waiting for this build about how you can sometimes use AI here. I don't know how you've been using AI before. Typically, when we start with small projects, what we often do is just start up a large language model. You know, you get some code, there's an error in your code, you grab a couple lines of code and paste it, or even a whole file of code, paste it into your large language model and say, you know, here's the error, can you fix this error here? And that works with simple programs that just run often with one file here. When we get to these larger projects with multiple files, and often like last night with the Kotlin version, I wasn't running problems so much with the code. I was running problems with these build.gradle files and this library version file, getting those all consistent and working there. So if you have, you know, we have like almost a dozen files in play right here. How do you handle that? So a couple of things you can look for is one, like often you can enable GitHub Copilot in here, and GitHub Copilot can often look at your whole project. Here we have Gemini, and you should be able to enable Gemini to look at your whole project here and see, and so that's sometimes helpful. The other thing is you can paste a lot of this stuff into your stuff. Some people like to zip up these projects and submit them as a zip file. I tend to just attach a whole bunch of files here. So I'll do something like if I'm using, let's do Chat GPT because we're at work right now. I'll often just go and attach a bunch of these files. So I'll go find where these documents are. Where are these documents anyway? So, go down this 8, 10 level folder structure and ask, oh, that's the pizza one. I think that was the right one. No, it's this one. And often I'll just attach all these files to the query and ask it a question. So, have you had much experience using it with large projects like this? Any suggestions? Okay, you can see how this is working, how this works and what works best for you. Again, I'm still getting this error and I'm not sure how it is. Um, So this is suggesting I need getters and setters. I didn't think I did, and so in the old days we didn't, but maybe now in this for this database, I need getters and setters for all my attributes as being stored in the database. I'm not sure about that. So I'm just going to add them. And again, I could code those, but again, I always generate getters and setters these days. So I'm just going to right click and choose, what did I choose? Right click, choose generate getters and setters here. And I'm just going to choose all of mine and generate all the getters and setters for them. So it'll have those set. And then try to rebuild this. I'm going to come around and see how you're doing on some things. Let me just pause this. So I'll get this error because I've already installed it on a phone with the same package name there. So I have to make sure I just go into my phone, delete it, uninstall it so that I can reinstall it here. So when you were looking at this room database, so yeah, I get this as yellow up here too. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if, yeah, we need that or if that might be, I wonder if that's getting replaced by this these days, but I'm not getting any issue. So this is the code you're getting the error on? Yeah. Huh. Because I'm getting the same stuff you have. Let me try to get this uninstalled on my phone. Try this again. All right, let me see. A number of students are running this problem where like they try to do this import here and it's not working or stuff. And so just what's happening under the hood with this, and this is common in a lot of kind of environments like this, is we have to bring in the external libraries here. And there's two files. One is in your top level, it's your build.gradle one. The other one is in your app folders. It's called build.gradle there also. And you specify libraries there. So like here's this libs.room.compiler or the room runtime and the room common one. So there's a number of room libraries that have to be put in here. And so sometimes tutorials will tell you to manually go in here and do that. I find it more helpful is that when you're editing things, if they're not there, like this will be in red. And so you can just show context, and the suggestion will be to add it to the libraries. It'll add it to, generally it adds it to this app level build.gradle file there. Now, if your build.gradle files get corrupted, you won't be able to, and once you get them in there, you should be able to resync this. There should be a button to resync, and that'll download the newest libraries and stuff. Now, one thing to watch is that Android has recently kind of updated how it does this. We used to have to specify all the libraries in these files, but we now have a separate file, this libversions file, libversions, and it's a TOML file, so it's named after me, obviously, there. And there you specify the versions of these libraries you're going to include and use here. And again, sometimes it's hard to get a consistent set of libraries. I spent over an hour last night on Kotlin just trying to get a consistent set of libraries in here for Kotlin and Room to work together for this. So I will try to get projects set up so that these libraries are in here ahead for you, but I won't always succeed here. Just so you know, that's what's kind of under the hood. So again, when you ask AI about it, sometimes it'll be modifying this, and sometimes it won't realize this new versioning is done in here rather than here. And sometimes it'll get freaked out because it'll say, "Oh, you're on APG 8.13. That's way beyond what I am aware of. I didn't know that existed," and it won't know how to help you here. We were just talking, the Gemini that's built into this is okay, but I don't think it can search the internet, and it seems to be out of date with some of these new libraries and features like that. That's why I will sometimes tend to use like ChatGPT or Gemini online here, because they can search the internet. And I often tell it, I'm using this version of Android Studio. Can you make sure your instructions fit that, or something like that? So let's see, did this ever run? Hey, I actually finally got this to run here. So so here's my run thing. I should be able to order a chicken pizza and add it to the list, order pepperoni pizza and add it to the list. And so and then I should be able to quit and run this all again, and it should remember those things. So if I stop this and run again. Now, last time I tried this, it wasn't remembering them right away. This was a bug. So if someone can fix this bug, I just haven't had time. So it doesn't update the list right away, but if I order a pizza, I order a small green pepper pizza, and maybe I didn't fix that. It should be doing that. Now let me look and see. It should be remembering that. And I think it's in my pizza repository. When we order a pizza, we add it to the database. Well, I'm not sure why that. Again, this is one of those things where it was working. In my office when I'm coming down here, but it should hopefully, see if we can get it to remember your order here. Yeah, and again, when we order a pizza, we should be creating a new pizza, adding it to our database here, and returning the new pizza. Oh, I see. I'm still using the list of data. I'm not actually using the DAO here. We'll have to look at that. Let me look at that real quick here. So I don't think I've updated. I think this is the original pizza repository. So let's go back to our instructions here. The view model, add a variable in the pizza repository to the main class. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we should be using our variable for the pizza repository here, and we should be adding that to using that. So if I look at it, I think we stopped at step 4 last time. I'm not adding. I have a list of my own. Oh, that's a pizza repository. Let's look at the main view here. Um, we have a pizza repository. When we place an order, we call pizza depository or use that pizza repository to order a pizza. So that looks good. And then in pizza repository, we're order pizza here. We create a new pizza, add it to our list. That doesn't look right to me. I don't see the tie between the pizza repository or the pizza repository class and the pizza DAO class. So let me look there. So yeah, we should be creating a variable hold a DAO object and do that. Let me look. Yes. Okay. So you added the pizza ID, did you say? Okay, was this ID, right? Yeah. Pizza. The pizza prices one, is that? Yeah, okay. Um, with tables like this, I'm not sure. I think you do need an ID, but um, to make each row of your table unique for that. I'm not sure. It might be creating its own ID under the hood if you don't specify one. So that might happen. Does it run now? Oh, more errors. One thing what I did is I put the ID here and I had to get ID and set ID. And then in my database, again, it had tried to create, I think, the database without the ID. So I updated the version here to version 2. So that would force it to recreate the SQL database out there with the new thing. So, and then I went down here and did build here and had it rebuild everything. So see if that will work. Now I'm just trying to look at the pizza repository here and what I have there. So what in our pizza repository, we should be creating a pizza database object, and then we should be creating a pizza DAO here, a data access object, and then filling our arrays of pizza from that stuff. And that's what I'm seeing I'm not doing here. So if I go down here to the finished version, I see that. So I'm going to copy some of this back into my, I don't have this DAO declared in my pizza repository, I don't think. I just have this list. Uh, and again, inside my constructor here, I should be uh, creating this. Is that's in the pizza repository constructor. And this comes from these tutorials here, how to create adding a repository stuff. So they should have code in here. This is their Word database, but again, here's their Word repository. They declare a DAO here, and then they create a database. And then once they have that database, use that database to create the DAO. And then they get all the words and store it in their list of words here. Now, right now I'm not talking at all about this live data or what that means here. I'm just creating a list of words, and the live data is what we'll need to add later on so that when we update the database, those updates get reflected to the front end. There's some structure built in so that when data stores, it'll tend to flow that data back to our UI for this. So, so again, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm create my database. I'm doing my log. Now, I'm going to have to do some inserts, I think, here. I don't think we've talked about the log here. So again, sometimes when we're debugging, it's useful to do a login. I use these a lot in web development and in like Android development. There's usually a command to log information. So when your app is running, you'll see that here. So like in your website, you'll be logging it and it'll go into your developer console in your web browser. Here, it'll go to our log. So there's something called logcat here, which is logging all these messages here. So I will send log dot, and there are different types of classes. D is for debugging. It has a tag in here that'll add because again, lots of libraries are logging things. So I like to log things with some special tag for my project. And I'm just putting our class name in here. So then I can filter it over here in my log to just those tags. And then again, it's just the messages so you can see what's happening. So if you need help debugging, sometimes these log messages are very helpful here. And here's our old way of doing it. We are trying to get the pizza, fill our array list with an empty list, but I'm going to try now to fill this with our data access object calling get all here. Now I have to update some stuff. I still have some of this as heart rate and from that example. So I'm going to refactor this or rename this to pizza. And I'm not sure why I don't have, why get all isn't there. I have it's called get all pizzas. That's what it's called. So in my DAO. So now I should be able to get all the pizzas. Okay. I think I'm going to go through this all again, all in Kotlin, so you can see it all in Kotlin too. So you're welcome to keep, if you've got it mainly working in Java, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to walk through it also in Kotlin. And what that'll do is it'll be basically some of the same steps we're doing, just in a slightly different language, but we'll recreate all of these objects again for us here. So I'm gonna look at that if that's okay. So I'm gonna go back over here. Um, oh, I don't know if I linked in. I think there's a um, thought there was a Kotlin data version of this. I'm not seeing it. Okay, we'll ignore that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this here. Um, I'm going to do this other assignment, the Kotlin starting point, and accept that and recreate that. So again, I'm going back to the learning activity. There's two assignments, one for Java and one with Kotlin. I'm going to the Kotlin one, getting that URL here. And I'm going to do a new project here, file, new project from version control here. If you're in the other view, if you've closed your project, then you have to click on the dot, dot, dot menu to see the version control. So I'm just going to paste the URL in there and clone this stuff. I'm going to leave the Java version open. So when it asks me, do I want this in this window or new window, I'm going to open it up in a new window so that I can have the Java. So this will be my Java version. And this will be my Kotlin version here. And I'm going to use AI to help with this. So, and we'll see how AI does. Again, good for some of this stuff. It's not great for some of the more recent stuff. So we'll see how AI works with this. You can also look, I have a completed version of it in Kotlin down here also there, because again, I thought there was a this walkthrough does it all in Java there. So I'm going to work with I think I'll work with Chat GPT this time. We'll see how that works. Okay, so here's my app. Uh, here's my Kotlin file. So I have a pizza and a main activity here, and I have a view model. I'm going to start with that, and um, I think I'm going to just attach this file here and ask it to do that. So let's go back to Android projects. This one. Okay. And so I want to just tell it, I want to convert this. So our first task here is to add annotations to this pizza class for the room database. So I'm going to ask it to do that. So I need to update this pizza entity to use the room database. I need to add annotations for room to this. I'll just leave it that and see if it can figure out the ones. If I need to, I'll specify some more details, but I'll just try that and see how it goes. It should be adding the at entity to this, bringing the imports, and it should be doing a primary key. We'll see how it goes for that. So. Okay, so it's added the entity table name is pizzas. It's added the primary key ID in here for us and set this up. It has a bunch of converters for this. So let's see how it did and if I can get it. I'm just going to actually copy this. Now, when I paste this in, my package is, well, it should remember the package name. Sometimes it doesn't, so I can't copy and paste the whole thing, but I gave it, so it knows my package name. So I can actually copy this whole code and just select this all and replace it with its version, and we'll see how it did for this. So it is we're getting this import library. We don't have these unresolved rooms here. So let's see if it's telling me what to do with that. So again, I should be updating my build.gradle file for that here. Yeah, so it says make sure you have the room libraries, runtime, KTX, and compilers via KSP in your build.gradle setup. And that's where I'm not, I mean, this isn't being defined because again, this import isn't being done. So let's see. Yeah, and the context is to create an extension property for that. So I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to go to my Gradle scripts, go to this one. And so again, there are two things I want to modify, the lib versions and the app level build.gradle file. Don't have that. So I'm going to actually give it those two libraries and ask it to update that. So I'm going to go back here, go to my app level, grab that build.gradle file, and also add in the other libraries inside at my project level inside the Gradle file is the lib versions. Here are my build files. Can you update these with the room libraries? I am kind of surprised that Android Studio isn't doing this for me. I'm really surprised that I can't just click here and do that import for that. So we'll see how AI does. And this is what I ran into last class. It'll be interesting. I mean, last time I was trying this is trying to get a set of libraries that work. So in this solution that's at the bottom of this assignment, this one should have those files updated with a working set of those. The link, oh, I haven't shared that. That's my private repository. You don't get to see that. Okay, let me fix that. Let me go to repositories. By default, when Android Studio pushes a repository, it pushes it as private. See, it's private. So I need to modify, I need to go in here and go to settings and make it public so that everyone can see it. It's my current two-factor authentication. Okay, that should be good. Let me do, it looked like the other one wasn't done either. This one looked like it was private too. Let me make sure that's public. Okay, let's just look through my repositories and make sure they're all the recent ones, public, private. Let's make that one public too. Okay. All right. So I think you should be able to see that now. So if you go into this assignment and look at the Kotlin version, that should be public. Okay, let's see how ChatGPT went. So it did an updated version of the lib version toml file, added versions and libraries here. So it is not showing me the whole thing. Sometimes I ask it to do the whole thing. It is showing me just the subparts here, which I can just paste in here, which is okay. It's a little more work. But again, we want this room and key ISP stuff. So I'm going to paste those in under versions. There you go. Libraries, I'm going to take these lines and paste those under the library heading here. And then for plugins, I need to grab this KSP plugin. I don't even know what the KSP plugin is, to tell you the truth, but it always tells me to build it in here for this. Okay, now that'll be my version stuff. And then in my app level Gradle, so again, that should be at here, it'll say module app in gray. So that'll be that version of it. Yeah, the other one's really short. But again, the plugins, add these plugins. So again, this is the plugin I'm adding, this KSP plugin there. So at the top are my 3 plugins. Now I'm adding one more plugin for that. It's red, but that's okay. When I sync it, it should get it cleared up there. Add the room dependencies. So these are my 3 room dependencies. They all go down under dependencies for that. And then optional, nice to have. If you want room to export schemas for migration testing, yeah, and we're not going to do that. Now, the last thing is your top level build.gradle. So again, that is this build.gradle. My top level one is just this small plugin stuff. I want to add in, oh, I think, is KSP already there? No, it's not. It says keep this line present. I don't think I think it didn't know if that was there or not. I'm going to add that in. So now I have to resync and download libraries. So I've made these changes. I'm going to go sync now and do this. I'm sorry, I thought I had done that. I will try to do all this library stuff in these repositories before I share them as assignments, so you don't have to do them. And again, often as a developer, if you're working for a company, you'll have some dev person who's kind of in charge of the libraries and that sort of stuff of your project. So you'll have some sort of dev developer, or trying to remember what the name of that person is or that title is, but they will be in charge of all this build and library stuff. So there's usually someone, so that you as a developer may not have to worry about this unless you're just yourself. Okay, so now I've resynced it and I don't have any reds in here. I go back here, and in pizza, all the imports are coming up correctly and I'm not getting any errors. So it does ask me to upgrade this build thing. You can do that if you want. I try not to, because I find if I do that when I'm doing a project, then it forces you, it gets you confused if you haven't done that already. So, okay, so that's done. Okay, so basically what we've done is our pizza thing is now set up so it will be an SQL table called pizzas here. And I could change that if I want. We have a primary key, and then we have our fields that are in here that are set up for that. So that is that part. Let's see the next part. So I've annotated, create a new pizza interface file and a pizza database file. So I'm going to ask it to do that now together. Can you create the database for this new room database? So again, just like before, I'm going to want to go in here and create new files. So again, I click on this folder and right click and do new. And rather than Java class, I'll do Kotlin class, and I'll say pizza. DAO, create that one here. I'll add it to GitHub. I'll check this. So all the new files are added to GitHub. So I'll do that. And then I'll do another one, new Java class, new Kotlin class, and pizza database. The new files. And let's see how AI did. Here's the DAO file for this. I don't need, it's probably generating more things than I need as far as like find and count and get by and stuff. And it generates the SQL for me. But it looks okay. I'm going to, oops, I pasted that in the wrong file. That should be in my DAO file. Okay. So it is doing a get all, which is I do need, and then a it should be an add order. Yeah, an upsert. Interesting. To command to add something. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have my database file. Fill in here. And now hopefully since I've done my imports, it's providing me imports here and stuff like this. We're just creating a pizza class using our pizza class that we already have here. Version 1 is our first version. It's linking this, and it should be linking to our pizza DAO here. So again, just like in Java, we're creating a DAO object and using that in this pizza database. So again, this is largely boilerplate stuff. And again, that's why I like AI to do this. Here we, all this code is saying we just change what entity class we have. I'll just warn you, a lot of people would call this pizza entity rather than pizza or pizza model there and put it in a model folder. So sometimes if you're using AI, since it's so common, AI will sometimes automatically do that for you. So you should just watch, and again, same with you go to companies, this is often called, rather than just calling it pizza or something like that, it'll be called pizza entity or pizza model there. And it's often, right now, I'm putting these all in the main folder. It is really common to have these in subfolders. So your data, all your data models, like your pizza entity, or and your user entity, your customer entity, would all be in a models folder there for that. I'm surprised ChatGPT didn't do that already. So just be aware. But we're trying to keep it simple here, and we're not putting it in folders. Okay, so we have our new database. How's our time coming? Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. We're not doing it. So we created our pizza, we updated our pizza class, created our DAO, created our pizza class. And again, rather than just using this boilerplate code from this walkthrough, I'm just using, so again, with Java, we just took this boilerplate code, copied it, and modified it. Now we're just using AI to generate that same boilerplate code, basically, but in Kotlin here. Okay. So that's our database class. Now we're going to create a repository for this. I'm just going to have it create a repository and see what it does. I like to tell it's doing a good job sometimes just to keep it on my side. This is looking great. Good job. Because it is very optimistic to me. I think I should be optimistic too. So I've been wondering if I'm pessimistic to it, will it be pessimistic to me or not? Has anyone tried to be pessimistic to your AI, and does it get pessimistic back, or is it just always really upbeat? Oh, that's depressing. It should try to reflect that. So, yes. So, okay. I shouldn't encourage it this way. This is great! Exclamation point. Now let's create a pizza repository class to uh, sit between my view model. I'm going to try to get this. Oh, I know. I'm just going to make this a little bigger up here. Okay. Between my view model and the room database. Maybe I'll give it my view model so that it can see that. I'm going to go back in here and show it my view model. It always confuses me that the Kotlin is stored in the Java folder too still, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so we have my main view model. Okay, so I am attaching my view model. New create the repository. So again, I don't have a pizza repository here. I'm going to want to create that new class. So I want a pizza repository. Upstairs pizza repository. Okay. Or this. Okay, let's see how it did. So here's my pizza repository that's working my view model. It has these commands. So have you heard the term upsert? It keeps using this term upsert or upsert all rather than insert or add. Have you heard that? Why? Is the name upsert used instead of insert or create? Is this common these days? Good question. Yes, I thought that was a good question. Oh, what is the answer? Upsert is becoming more common, especially with modern DB languages like Room. Oh, I want to be like that. So it's a combination of insert and update it if it exists here. And here's a breakdown. Wow. Okay. That's so exciting. I'm feeling much cooler now that I know what upsert is. Okay, so now I have these fancy upsert uh, commands, and I can upsert a list or a single pizza object. And again, I could go through and ask it. I don't really need an upsert all to upsert a list of pizza. I just am doing one at a time, so I could delete that from here. But again, I don't feel that I necessarily need to. I'm just going to leave it here for now. Same with this observe all and stuff like that. I don't need find bot with topic name. So I could actually go through and start deleting some of these if I wanted here. Or I could be asking AI to rewrite this without this. I find, like, let's say I want to delete this. I don't want any of the finds here. You can decide where to do it. I tend to delete the function names here and then see where they are. Like here, show me the errors. I can delete these here. And I may want to do that with my DAO also. But again, it may in the future, I may want to do it. So I might want to leave it in my database so that those queries are there in case I need them in the future. Or I could delete them here also. So I could decide I'm going to leave them in my database in case at some point I want to do that. But I'm not going to continue that into my repository. I don't need to do that. So I'm trying to clean up my repository, not have as many things there for that. Okay. Um, so now we've done this. It'll be interesting to see if you could ask, and in fact, this is what you're doing. I should jump back. Um, So I want you to do something similar to this in the assignment for heart rates. This last one to see if you can have it generate the code. And I would see if you can, now I'm doing it in steps, but I think you can ask it to generate, say, I want an app with heart rates, a Room database. Can you generate all the files? And see if it will create all the files for you rather than this step-by-step process. I'm going step-by-step process because we have the steps defined in here. So now I'm going to modify the main view. Now I've already sent it my main view. Okay, wait, let's see if it told me to do anything. Optionally, view model sketch. So it is suggesting how to update my view model here. I'm going to ask it to do that. So can you generate a new version of the main view model for me to use with this repo? Okay, so now my view model, if you remember, we have this view model we created a certain way. We I thought, where's our list of pizzas? So we have our size, our things, our order. Yeah. So again, we add the order. We create our list of objects here. We create our pizza for this with the toppings. We add it to an order. So yeah, where's order? Order is defined as a pizza order. Yeah. So we still have this pizza order object. I'm gonna want to get rid of it. So I have this pizza order object, which is this array of pizzas. I'm gonna want to move that inside my view model and get rid of that. I didn't notice that that was still there. I'm gonna have it move that inside the pizza order. So let's see if it's still doing this. You tell me how this view model works with the pizza order. I don't think it's seen the pizza order, so I'm wondering if it can know that. Okay, so now I'm going to add the pizza order. To remove the pizza order and bring that data into the view model, the main view model. Dated. Okay, so I'm going to, again, right now in our pizza order, we maintain a list of pizzas here. We have an add, so I'm going to want to bring that functionality back into the view model for this. So I'm going to delete that. Again, you could leave it there. It doesn't necessarily hurt, but again, I want to try to simplify it. And I'm just going to delete it anyway here because I want to get back to this. So again, we have this pizza order. We replaced it with the pizza repository. And so that's what I'm trying to do is replace pizza order with pizza repository here for this. Okay, let's see how it did. Got it. So now it should be creating a list of pizzas in this pizza repository for us to work with here. So let's see how that is looking. So that's my view model, right? Yes. So here's my view model here that should be working with this pizza repository here. So again, we should have this pizza repository or view model is working with pizza repository, not the pizza order. The pizza repository doesn't have a pizza order in it. So, okay. I'm looking, I think I may have not done this. Well, we'll see how this works. So I'm going to look into problems, see if I have any compile problems. I'm going to go and try to run it on my phone, see how that works, and see how we're doing. One of the challenges in this class is going to be figuring out how much stuff we can cover and how in-depth we can cover. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of code in here that I'm just kind of glazing over. A lot of this like boilerplate room database code that I'm just kind of not going in deep. So again, feel free, if you want to learn some more about it, again, you can. The code lab in Java works through a lot of that there. You can also like Q and have AI generating this code. I'm going, what is this doing? I can ask it about certain things like what is this state flow stuff? We really haven't talked about flow or state much in Kotlin. We really should. It's important there. And again, we did talk a little bit about variables and this mutable state of or remember stuff. So if again, if you're interested in that, that's important stuff, and it just means that variables change. And when we change a variable or stuff we update, there's an update to our app or our functions that are recognized whenever we change something here for that. So. Okay, it didn't build. So let's see. Why not here? Looks like now it's finding some errors in here. In my I haven't updated my main activity. I bet that might be the problem. So in our main activity, we have a view model, and we're working on that, but we've updated the view model and not the main activity. So I'm going to go back here and say, last thing is to update the main activity to work with this new view model. You can either edit the view model or the main activity. This is one of those areas that actually what I often do if I'm going to be working with this and over time is initially I will give it things like the main activity. I'll give it a couple files and ask it to explain it to me so that it has it in its context. and then I'll start editing it. So I often try to feed some of this stuff to the AI initially when I go. So I didn't realize that I hadn't given it the main activity or these basic files to start with. The other thing I can let's look at is in my main activity, we can be looking at this and doing this ourselves. So again, we have our view model, and again, there's just a couple functions: set, size, index, and place order that have changed there. So in my view model, I have a add to order instead of place order for this that I should be using. So my guess is that it'll suggest to just change this placed order to add to order, or else it'll go under my view model and change this to place order. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see which one it does, but it's got to sync up these two names that it's using here. So. Now, to submit your stuff, you can just do these assignments and push them to GitHub. So we should look at that because I will be able to go into this is all in GitHub Classroom. I'll be able to go into GitHub Classroom. I'll be able to go into these assignments here for this. So like I'll be able to go to this let's do the Java one because people may have already pushed that. I'll be able to go to the Java one, and I should be able to see everyone and if they've submitted and see their updates for that. So you just have to push it to GitHub, and then to clear out the assignment, just do a submit in Brightspace and say I pushed it to GitHub or something like that. So how do we push this stuff? Let me just finish up, see how it did here before. So it is awesome. Let's drop in the main activity wire with the new repository. Yes, so it replaces place order with clear order there. It also changed the set slide index to pizza slide order. So again, it is just doing those. So I'm just going to copy that code in my main activity. I'm just going to delete this and replace it with this new version. Now, I used to have to watch, and AI would change my versions of a lot. Nowadays, if I give it a file and ask to fix it, it is getting much better at just fixing it and not rewriting a lot of my code there. I used to have a lot more problems where I'd have it generate a file or to fix a problem, it would generate a file and it would leave out parts and stuff like that. So that's something you do have to watch. Is it generating the whole file for you, or is it not there? Another thing to do, I don't know if you're doing this, is you can switch on Canvas. And have you used Canvas mode? It'll open up a little code editor here. So maybe I'll just do, can you show this in Canvas? So if I enable Canvas, and again, I know I haven't used like Perplexity. I don't know if that has Canvas, but I know Gemini and ChatGPT do. And it should open up a code window off to my left here. I don't know why it's not. Maybe it didn't want so. I should have started, but it usually opens up a Canvas window here. Okay, let's not worry about that. Okay, so we got this working. Let's say I want to push it to GitHub. So up here, this is your GitHub. This little, you can see little branching stuff. You can click on that, and you can say commit and push here. So commits it locally. Pushes it back up to GitHub. So I'm going to say commit, and push. Now, let me just show you this. Let me bring this up and show you. So again, everything's color coded here. So new files are in green. Updated files are in blue. So you can see all the things I've changed. And that'll change once I do this. So I'm going to say push. And push will make me commit first. So I'm going to say push for this. I'm going to say push. I thought it would do a commit. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you should see if you've logged in. So I'm going to log in via GitHub. I thought I'd done that here, but maybe I haven't. I'm going to authorize GitHub here, and then it should be okay. Let's go back here. Push fail, permission to. Let's try that again. So commit. So here on the left side is my commit message. Here. So again, I switched from folder view down to commit view. This is all the changes, and here's my commit thing. So updates for learning activity to mostly working now. So I'm going to hit commit. I'm going to hit now commit and push. So I don't have to do it. And yeah, it's not getting me to log in here. So again, we may have to, at times I've had, this has worked, and at times I've had to use tokens to do this. So, let's see if that'll work. So yeah, it's not pushing correctly. Have you guys been able to push? I didn't see that. Anyone been able to try to push? Try to go up here and see. I'm going to switch this. If I push this. So now it says log in. I tried to log in via GitHub. I'm going to switch to use tokens and show you that, because in the past we've had to do that, but like last class I was here, I was able to log in via GitHub, I think, fine. So I'm going to click on, when it asks you to do this, use tokens, and ask me for a token. So I'm going to go to GitHub, do my login at GitHub, and check my tokens, or generate a token for this. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. So in GitHub, I'm going to go to my profile. So I'll go to my profile here. There's me smiling away. And I'm going to, I thought that's where it was. I don't think it's there now. Yeah. I'm going to go to settings. That's where I'm going to go, I believe. And I'm going to go to code security. How do I generate tokens at GitHub? GitHub, your avatar settings, developer settings, personal access tokens. Okay, I wasn't close. Okay, I was in settings. Settings, developer settings. So I'm going to go to settings. So again, developer settings. And I'm going to go down here to developers settings, very bottom one there. And I'm going to go to personal access tokens. And I'm gonna actually use a classic token, I think, for this. So this will generate tokens, and you can see I've generated Android Studio tokens before. Now, once you generate a token, you have to copy it. You can't see it and again. So I'm going to generate a new token using the classic model because I want to give it a large thing. So Android, or I'm just going to type in CIS 3334 fall 2025. I don't want it to expire in 30 days. So I'm going to have it, you can switch it to 90. I'm just going to have no expiration. It's going to say, are you sure you want to give someone access to this? And I could select what I never quite know, and I'm not too worried about this token. I'm going to give it rights to everything in my stuff. I guess it doesn't need any of these admin or GIST privileges or creating users, but I am just lazy and just like to do this all. Because things like Copilot, I don't quite know if I'm enabling that. So I'm just going to click it all, but certainly needs access to your repo stuff. Generate a token. So is your token here? I'm going to copy that. You might want to paste that in some place to remember it. I'm just going to put it right away in here. And then I'm going to log in. Now, I wonder if I hit the generate, if it would have sent me to the same location. I would think so, but in the past, we haven't had luck with that. Okay, so now it did push this correctly. So if I go back up here, now I don't have different colors. Everything is in white, meaning everything's going to push to GitHub. If I go to GitHub on changes, there are no unresolved files here. So next time when I edit a file, so here, this is my comment. So next time when I edit a file here, I will see that I can just push and say added a comment. I can hit commit and push. Oh, I'm going to commit all my change files here. And it should just push and commit for me. I shouldn't have to log in next time. So once you get this set up, it should work there. And then when I go into the GitHub Classroom, will be able to see your changes. So I'll be able to go into our classroom. I'll be able to go into our project. That was the Kotlin one I think I just did. So here's my submitted one, and I can look and see that. So same with Java ones. So again, do that. Call me over if you have trouble getting this all connected together, or if you're stuck, and see how this works. I'm going to pause this recording. So someone's asking if you get this working or not. So again, for learning activities, the goal of a learning activity is to learn. And so I do not run your learning activity code or anything like that. Okay. Now, on assignments and projects, I will. So, but again, this week, again, we're doing this so fast. I don't have a whole expectation that you can get all this working at this point perfectly there. So even for the assignment, I switched it all to questions there because my expectation is a lot of you are going to have trouble getting this working there. So let me know. So you don't have to you can push that said, I went through this to understand, and there's often some little thing. Now, if it bothers you that it's not working, send me an email. I can just go in here. I have access to your repo, push it there and say, Tom, can you fix this? I'll just grab it and I'll fix it, hopefully. If it's really bothering you, let me know. Send me an email or something like that and say, I struggled with this again. But again, make sure, I mean, you're in charge of your own learning. Make sure you're looking at this and trying to decide, is fixing this one problem going to help my learning? And if it is not, don't worry about it there. So, okay. Let's see. Okay, that's where you're at. Make sense?
I think it.
So stopping and starting again fixed it? Yes, isn't that weird?